What we're doing today is planting some coconuts that have sprouted. I think I've covered this in my blog, but in a nutshell, you buy coconuts for about 5 pesos a piece, which is more or less 25 cents. And you just put them on the ground, just all together. I'll show a video of them here in a minute. And then you keep the ground really wet, muddy. And you keep watering it. You've got to keep the ground muddy. And somehow, in some cases, 2 weeks, 10 days, a month or two, you look down and the coconut is opened up and it's got a little sprout on it. So as soon as the sprout comes up, however big it is, we know that it's growing, and so we gather them up, bring them over here to the dirt pile, and then we take the red dirt that you see and some cow manure. Let's see here. You see my bags of cow manure down there? Those are just delivered a couple of days ago. I buy that from the village people and pay them anywhere from 100 pesos to 150 pesos a bag. So we bring the manure here and we mix it. You can see Moise is mixing it right now. 4 parts of dirt to 1 part of cow manure. And then I mix in some 17-17-17 fertilizer, and then the dirt already has had some cow's blood poured into it, mixed into it, and the cow's blood was mixed 20 liters of water to 1 liter of cow's blood, and just sprinkle all around. I imagine in this pile of dirt here we probably put 100 liters of that blood mixture, which is very high in nitrogen. So now you can see him, he's got his dirt mixed up and he's filling his bag. You get the bag filled up, and then he will plant the coconut inside the bag. I can't remember if I've shown you how I start the coconut trees or not. You just get the coconuts and put them on some dirt and keep the dirt wet, muddy, and after a week or two they open up and shoot a sprout out, and that sprout becomes a coconut tree. I've mentioned this in some other postings on my blog, and I don't remember if I've put it on a video or not, but the goal here is, right now, we're growing these coconuts as trees, and you can see they're pretty tall in the bags even though they're young, and we're putting these in between the rows of asparagus because it just gets so darn hot here in the Yucatan in the summer season, and that's why nobody's been able to grow asparagus, is it's just too hot. So I'm using these coconut plants as partial shade. So it's not full shade. The asparagus plants will still get some sunshine. They just won't get full sun all day long beating down on them. Then in 3 years, when the asparagus is good and mature, 2 other things will happen. These coconut trees will be big enough to take to Merida and sell to a nursery or sell retail to individuals. Some of them will keep, some of them will sell every year. But also in 3 years, my orchard will be taller by about 1.5 meters or 2 meters, and I won't need the coconuts for shade then, because the citrus orchard will give the asparagus shade. So I've got kind of a couple of things going on here. And the coconuts, what you see here in these bags, the bags cost about 5 pesos. The coconut costs 5 pesos. the dirt, manure, and labor to put it all together cost about 10 pesos, maybe a little more. So more or less I have 25 pesos in this bag, what you're looking at here. That's in US about a dollar, let's see, yeah, $1.10 or $1.15. Well, in 3 years, these little baby coconut trees will be anywhere from 1 meter to 2 meters tall, and I can sell them for 300 pesos, something like that, maybe 400, depending on how tall they are. So basically it's a 10 to 15 time increase return on my money, and at the same time they're working for me by giving shade to the asparagus. Not to mention the fact I've been able to give my guys a job for all this time, and hopefully into the future. And that's my first goal. I didn't come down here to make a bunch of money. I came down to try and change people's lives and give them some work and raise them out of poverty. And if I can do that, I'll be a success, however much money I make. But that's the plan. That's what my goals are. And by, let's see, this is more or less the end of May. I'm sorry, the end of January right now. Golly, get my dates all mixed up sometimes. It's the 24th of January, I think. And my goal here is by the end of February, I will have 1,000 coconut trees. I think I have 740 right now. So we've got about 250 more to go here in the next few weeks. But 1,000 coconut trees, and then I already have 1,500 asparagus plants that are growing in between them. So day by day, little by little, you do a little work every day, and then pretty soon you look back on it all and you've got a big job done. That's my update, if you're interested.